Countdown for blast off. X minus 5, 4, 3, 2, X minus 1, fire. From the far horizons of the unknown come transcribed tales of new dimensions in time and space. These are stories of the future, adventures in which you'll live in a million, could be years, on 1,000 maybe worlds. The National Broadcasting Company, in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, presents
X minus 1.
Tonight, Appointment in Tomorrow by Fritz Leiber.
The first angry rays of the sun, which surprisingly enough still rose in the east at 24-hour intervals, pierced the lacy tops of Atlantic combers and touched thousands of sleeping Americans with unconscious fear because of the unpleasant similarity to the ray from World War III's thermonuclear weapons. This was America approaching the end of the 20th century, America of the mask fad for women and the Neo-Cretan dress styles, America of your local radiation hospital, of the endless war and the loyalty detector. In his bedroom in the Thinkers Foundation, George Helmut slept.
Calculus to the nucleus, adding a quantum equal to the resultant of G sub 1 prime. Repeating, the quantum...
His educational sandman purred learnedly in his ear, droning tensor calculus through the night, filling the hours that used to hold man's formless fears and floating anxieties with the rigid form and anchored shapes of mathematics. Precisely at 8, the sidereal alarm went off.
Yeah. Ooh, my head. Oh, shower. 96.8, commence.
Under the soothing spray of the body temperature robo-shower, Helmut took a deep breath and cast his mind to the limits of the world and his knowledge. It was a somewhat shadowy vision, but he noted with impartial approval, definitely less shadowy than yesterday morning.
Off. Dry blast, commence.
Employing a rapid mental scanning technique, he cleared his memory chains of false associations, including those acquired while asleep. He felt the snap of clearing non-thalamic reasoning returning as the brain surged into clear, sharp control.
Off. Clothing. Color key 705.
He stepped into his clothing, the severe tunic, tights, and sockasins of the modern businessman. He smiled. The next big move had come to him in his sleep, as many of his best decisions did, because he utilized the time-saving technique of somno-thought, which could function at the same time as somno-learning.
Attention, robo-locator. Category, rocket physicist. Classification, genius level. Time limit for search, 20 minutes. Commence. Take dictation. Dear fellow scientist, a project is contemplated that will have a crucial bearing on man's future in deep space. Ample non-military government funds are available. There was a time when professional men scoffed at the Thinkers Foundation. Then there was a time when the thinkers perforce neglected the professional men. Now both times are past. I would like to consult you this afternoon, 3 o'clock sharp, Thinkers Foundation, signed George Helmut. End of dictation.
The president is waiting to see Maisie, sir. He has the general staff with him.
March and peace to him. Tell him I'll be down in a few minutes.
Huge as a primitive nuclear reactor, Maisie, the great electronic brain, loomed over the knot of hushed-voiced men. Its front was an orderly expanse of controls, indicators, telltales, and terminals, the upper ones reached by a chair on a boom. This was the machine with 1,000,000 times as many synapses as the human brain, the machine that remembered by cutting delicate little notches on the rims of molecules. This was the machine that timid cyberneticists and stuffy professional scientists had said could not be built. Yet this was the machine that the thinkers, with characteristic Yankee push, had built and named, with characteristic irreverence, Maisie.
Have you the questions for the day, Mr. President?
Here, Mr. Helmut.
I see.
The question on the Pakistan crisis is a little touchy. I don't know.
If there is enough data to answer it, Maisie will do so.
Well, of course, I didn't mean to. Of
If
course.
you will excuse me, gentlemen, I will code the questions for Maisie. Oh, Section 5, Question 4. Whom would that come from?
Number 4, physics. Opperly and his research team.
I see. Thank you, Mr. President. While I'm coding the tape, there will be time to watch the takeoff of the Mars rocket.
Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, I've often wanted to go to New Mexico. As a matter of fact, I've always wanted to go right through to Mars.
Mr. President.
My chief of staff thinks the project should be under the Army instead of the Thinkers Foundation.
Mr. President, this is the way Maisie designed the project.
Oh, I know. That's what I told him. Still, I wish you people could bring back a few of those wise little devils from Mars. It would be a good thing for the party, the country.
It's quite unthinkable. The telepathic abilities of the Martians make them extremely sensitive. The conflicts of ordinary Earth minds would impinge on them psychotically. Only the thinkers can contact them because of the clear training and errorless memory chains. Perhaps someday in the future... there goes the rocket.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I am ready to submit the question tapes to Maisie. Stand back, gentlemen.
Oh, well, sorry.
And now... All right, gentlemen. Maisie is thinking.
The question tape, like a New Year's streamer tossed out of a high window into the night, sped on its dark way along spinning rollers. Curling with an intricate aimlessness, it tantalized the silver fingers of 1,000 relays, saucily evaded the glances of 10,000 electric eyes, impishly darted down a narrow black alleyway of memory banks, and, reaching the center of the cube, suddenly emerged into a small room where a sweating fat man in shorts sat drinking beer.
Here it comes. Get off my lap, honey. I've got work to do.
Can it wait?
I said get.
Oh, you didn't have to do that.
When Maisie thinks, she thinks. Open up another beer.
Look, I'm not a robo-barmaid.
Honey, do what you're told, or I'll ship you out where they'll work some of the upholstery off that frame, slopping radioactive mud.
You don't have to get nasty, Jan. Here's your beer.
That's better.
It makes you fat.
I like to be fat. It makes our relationship more poignant. Pass me the questions and get over to your keyboard.
You're a greasy pig.
But such an attractive pig. Start taping. Why, that dirty...
What's the matter?
One of the questions. Does Maisie stand for male Zell?
For what?
Male Zell.
Does it?
Look, you just keep sitting on your brains and let me do the thinking. Tape. Maisie does not stand for male Zell. Maisie stands for amazing, humorously given the form of a girl's name.
Who is Maelzel?
Edgar Allan Poe.
Huh?
It's a story. Maelzel's chess player. About an automaton that was supposed to play chess. Poe proved it had a man inside it.
Oh, and they want to know if Maisie... They're wrong. Maisie doesn't have a man inside it. Just a lump of conceited lard. You could have hit me with that. Look at my dress.
Get me another glass of beer. That must have come from the physics section of the Research Institute. Opperly and that ape Farquhar. Well, we'll look into that. All right, start taping. Question 1. The midterm election vidcast should be spaced as follows.
Morton Upperly's living room was quite behind the times. Instead of reading tapes, there were books. And instead of a 4x6 TV screen, there was a Picasso, still faintly radioactive from being smuggled out of the Manhattan crater. Two physicists faced each other across the table, old Mr. Upperly and young Mr. Farquhar.
About that male Zell question, Willard. Why do you keep teasing the zoo animals?
Because the thinkers are charlatans who must be exposed. We know their Maisie is no more than a tea leaf reading fake. We've traced their Mars rockets, and we know they go into orbit 500 miles above Earth and stay there until it's time to come down with the latest miraculous Martian mental science.
But we've already exposed the thinkers very thoroughly. You know the good it did. Willard, the age we live in wants magicians. A scientist tells people the truth. When times are good, when the truth offers no threat, people don't mind. But when times are very, very bad, well, a magician tells people what they wish were true. That perpetual motion works, that colored lights can cure cancer, that a psychosis is no worse than a bad cold, and that they live forever. In good times, magicians are laughed at. They're the luxury of a spoiled, wealthy few. But in bad times, people sell their souls for magic cures and buy perpetual motion machines to power their war rockets.
Are we supposed to beg off from a job because it's difficult and dangerous?
In my day, Willard, I was one of the frightened men. Later, I was one of the angry men, and then one of the minds of despair. And now I'm convinced that all of my reactions were futile.
Exactly. You reacted. You didn't act. If you men who discovered atomic energy had only formed a secret league, if you'd only had the guts and foresight to use your tremendous bargaining power to...
Willard, we scientists weren't the stuff of which cloak and dagger men are made. Can you imagine Oppenheimer wearing a mask or old Einstein sneaking into the White House with a bomb in his briefcase? That's not the way power is seized. New ideas aren't useful to men bargaining for power. Only established facts or lies are.
What do you want to do? Surrender the world to charlatans without a struggle? The thinkers are vulnerable. Their power is based on a series of lies.
All power is. The greater the lie, the greater the power.
What's it based on? A few lucky guesses, some faith healing, some science hocus pocus.
The power of the thinkers isn't based on what they've got, but on what the world hasn't got. Peace, honor, a good conscience.
They've sent for me.
Who? Jan Tregerin?
No. George Helmut. I got the radiogram an hour ago. They know they'll have to produce a real nuclear rocket pretty soon, and they'll need our help.
I'm afraid, Willard.
You think it might be a trap? After the Mel Zell question, you think they might want to shut me up?
I'm not afraid for your life. I'm worried about other things they might do to you.
They'd better be worried about the things I'm going to do to them.
Martian peace to you, Willard Farquhar. You have entered the Thinkers' Foundation. Please remain on the slideway.
I want to see George Helmut.
May we take your hat and coat?
What the...
Do not be alarmed. Invisible radiations are slaughtering all the germs in your body, while more delicate emanations are producing a benign rearrangement of your emotions.
Claptrap. I can recognize a 14-cycle sonic note when I hear one. Where's Helmut?
This way, please.
Helmut, cut out all this Swami stuff. Where are you?
I'm afraid Mr. Helmut won't be able to meet you, Mr. Farquhar. I'm Jan Tregerin. Perhaps you can have your conversation with me.
George Helmut waited in a conference room with 24 empty chairs. He had prepared by 2 hours' rest with the Somno teacher on full volume for this conference, having strengthened his mind by hard years of Somno learning, memory straightening, and sensory training. He had assured himself of the executive power to control the technicians and direct their specialized abilities. Together, they would have built the true Mars rocket. But, unfortunately, no one came.
Where are they? Report.
No word from the door, Master.
They can't all be late. Did you check?
The calls have been put through.
What response?
Dr. Burnside reports he received the second message just in time.
What second message?
The message calling off the meeting.
Did he read the text of the second message back?
Shall I play it back?
Never mind. How was it signed? The signature?
Signature, Mr. Jan Tregeron.
George Helmut dejectedly examined his organizational charts, and then tapping his stylo on the pad, he extended his mental aura, cleared his memory chains of error, accelerated his cerebral processes by the Haber-Gerson process he had practiced for so many years. Slowly, he could feel the tight, heart-squeezing disappointment ebb. He was in control again. Tregeron, he was the one to blame. Tregeron, who was so used to working by deception that he must be shown the light.
Well, Willard, how was your adventure among the magicians?
Well, they didn't hurt me.
You're sure? And are you as determined as ever to smash and expose the thinkers?
Of course. Only from now on, I won't embarrass you by asking any Male Zell questions. After this, I shall bore from within.
Now, where have I heard that phrase before? Do I understand that you are becoming a thinker, Willard?
Certainly. That's the only way to smash them. Out-trick all their trickeries. Organize a fifth column. Then strike.
The end justifying the means, of course.
Of course.
I wonder if becoming a thinker doesn't simply mean that you've decided to use lies and tricks as your chief method. Well, you're working with Helmuth?
Not Helmut. Tregeron. I'm afraid that Helmut's career as a thinker is going to have quite a setback.
Ah, well. Goodbye, Willard.
Tregeron, I want to talk to you.
Shall I leave?
No, please stay.
Jan?
Stay. You ought to enjoy this. George has that errorless memory chain.
Tregeron, you know why I'm here.
I don't know. I've been sadly remiss on my precognition and clairvoyance exercise. I've been too busy with other things, other people, other exercises. But I don't need Maisie to guess.
You just went ahead and canceled the conference without consulting me.
You called it without consulting me. Shouldn't do that sort of a thing, George.
I was absolutely sure of my ground, perfectly prepared. I visualized it. The rocket boosting up on chemical power, then setting sail.
Sail? Sail? A nuclear reactor rocket. Oh, George, you're fabulous.
Yes, sail.
Thin streams of nuclear reflecting material and the rocket feeding meson streams behind it. I conceived it all, complete, except for technical details.
George, you are a thinker. A real thinker.
I know.
Now, look here, George. Every man should stick to his trade. Technology isn't ours.
You know as well as I do that we're going to have a nuclear spaceship and actually go to Mars someday.
Are we?
Yes. Just as we're going to have to build an actual Maisie. I helped you organize the thinkers. At least I was your first partner. Our basic idea was that the time had come to apply science to the life of man on a large scale. The only thing holding the world back from this was the ignorance and superstition of the average man and the stuffiness and lack of enterprise of the academic scientists. Their worship of facts, even when the facts were clearly dangerous.
Splendid. Splendid. Caddy, get me another beer.
I'm filing my nails. All right, all right.
Everybody wanted the new world. The trips to Mars, the knowledge of the human brain. All they lacked was the nerve to take the first big step. And that was what we supplied.
Here's your beer.
It was no time for slow and careful plodding. We couldn't afford to check and double-check. We couldn't wait for the grudging approval of the professionals. We had to use fake stunts, tricks, anything to get over the big point. Once that was done, mankind was headed down the new road. It was easy to just heal the breach with the professionals and to make good in actuality what had been made good in pretense.
Very good. The beer.
We built Maisie. We built the Mars rocket. We discovered the wisdom of the Martians. We sold the people and the science the professionals had been too high-toned to advertise or bring into the marketplace. But now that we'd succeeded, it's time to let accomplishment catch up with imagination, to implement fantasy with fact. You suppose I would have gone in with you if I hadn't known that someday we'd actually make what we claimed we had already made?
Oh, is that it?
Jan, the day's come, and I'm the man. I've prepared myself.
Caddy, clear the decks.
All right. I know. You just want room to point that fat finger.
I want her to stay.
All right. George, look, every revolutionary wants to see the big change take place in his lifetime. But time for the second step. George, the average man's exactly where he was 10 years ago when we took over, except he's got a new god. More than ever, he thinks of Mars as a Hollywood paradise with wise men and yummy princesses, like Caddy here.
Do you think I'm yummy, really?
Shut up. Maisie is Mama, magnified 1,000,000 times. The professional scientists, they're more jealous and stuffy than ever. All they like to do is turn the clock back to a genteel dream world of square caps and quadrangles.
Bravo!
I said shut up. George, maybe in 10,000 years we'll be ready for the second big step. Meanwhile, the clever will rule the stupid. The realists will rule the dreamers. George, did you actually think you could have bossed those professionals? Nuclear scientists? Rocket physicists? Oh, now listen to me, boy. They'd have torn you to pieces in 20 minutes, and glad of the chance. George, you baffle me. You know that Maisie and the Mars trips and all that are fakes, yet you believe in your somno-learning and consciousness expansion and optimism pumping like a corn-fed yokel.
There is a place for the man who has the courage to dream.
Sure. In a straitjacket. Oh, George, you remind me of those men who used to put out those lurid little magazines with Caddy's grandmother on the cover in outer space in a stripped-down bathing suit.
My grandmother never...
I said shut up! That's what it is. Frustrated little men playing science god to generations of pimply high school chemistry students and gas station attendants, conning them into thinking they're in the know, sprinkling a few formulas to the garbage and playing Atom Smasher, and then being very solemn about the role of imagination in science. George, the trouble with you is they forgot to take your zap gun and space cadet decoder pin away from you when you turned 13.
That's your honest opinion?
It's more than that. George, get a hold of yourself and quit taking fantasy in the veins. That's an order.
Jan, the strange part of it is that I know as well as you do that Maisie and the Mars trips are fakes, but some things aren't. The human mind, Jan, is a tool that hasn't been perfected yet. There are more things in heaven and earth than are dreamed of in your philosophy, Horatio.
Who's Horatio?
I said shut up. This is the last full cackle, George. You've been fooling around with ESP, huh? Telepathy? Maybe a little hypnotism?
Maybe.
All right. Guess what I've got in my drawer? Extend your consciousness. Telepath it. Visualize it. Never mind. I'll save you the mental effort. It's a pistol, see? Now, let me tell you something. I got a couple of boys waiting outside. They'll take you by jet to New Mexico. George, congratulations. You're leaving for Mars tomorrow.
Mars?
Yes. I've decided Mars to be the best place for you. We'll arrange it so that your trip is, say, 2 years long. Perhaps in that time, orbiting up there, you'll learn a little Martian wisdom. For example, the big liar must never fall for his own lie. Meanwhile, I got a replacement for you. His name is Willard Farquhar.
But I sent for him to...
Yes. You see, I, too, believe in cooperation with the scientists. But by subversion. I'll offer them the hand of friendship with a big, fat bribe in it. You know what the bribe is? The power to destroy me. That's what I'm offering. Join us. Learn our secrets. Bore from within. Bide your time before you strike. But while he's biding, I'll have him. And when he's ready to strike, you'll find it's not quite the time. Wait a little bit. Enjoy the power. play with fat old Jan Tregerin like a cat. And by then I'll have him.
You can't replace me, Jan.
Oh, you were a good man, George, when we needed catchy slogans, ray guns, plastic helmets, fancy sweaters.
I warned you, Jan. Don't underestimate the mind, the human brain. Even Caddy here is a fascinating instrument. For example, I had a little talk with Caddy last week.
Very boring.
Ah, but useful. But when we were finished, her mind had something it didn't have before.
You always were educational, George.
Caddy, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Now, put your hand on his arm. Now, take his gun.
Caddy, are you crazy?
I've got his gun. What now?
You see, Jan, there is a place for the dreamer, the man who believes, who can use his mind. I'm going to get rid of you, Jan, because the man who dares to dream will rule. Caddy, look at me. Look at me. Point the gun at him. Look at me.
I can't anymore. It's too ridiculous. Jan, take your silly gun back. It's too heavy.
What? Caddy, I command you, look at me. Look at me.
The power of the mind. Hey, boys, come in and get him.
I don't understand. Caddy, look at me.
Oh, all right, I'll look at you. Poor Superman.
You have just heard X-1, presented by the National Broadcasting Company in cooperation with Galaxy Science Fiction Magazine, which this month features You Go by E.C. Tubb, which proves that for pure, chilling horror, nothing can beat cold, hard facts. Galaxy Magazine, on your newsstand today. Tonight, by transcription, X-1 has brought you Appointment in Tomorrow, a story from the pages of Galaxy written by Fritz Leiber and adapted for radio by Ernest Kenoy. Featured in the cast were Ted Osborne, Dean Almquist, Pat Hosley, Bob Hastings, Arthur Hughes, and Charles Penman. Your narrator was Floyd Mack. This is Fred Collins. X-1 was directed by Daniel Sutter and is an NBC Radio Network production.
Yeah, good morning, weirdos. You caught me with my mouth full again. I gotta take these damn pills early, so I gotta I gotta get food in me early. So, hi, how are you? It's 5 a.m. Thursday. August 29th. It's almost over. Birthday month is almost over. Yay. Yeah. This year's just about wrapped up too. Well, we're just going into the last 4 months. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how the hell are you? I are okay. Just okay. Bummed that I didn't do another nighttime show last night, but like the doctor said, I'm going to be a little sleepy. But I should get all of my energy back here pretty soon, or at least most of it, right? And I can kind of get back to normal. I've been kind of out of it off and on all summer long. I do not like the summer. It's not the summer so much as it is the sun and the heat. I used to be a summer person, but that's when I would spend summers and it would only get to like 80 or 90 degrees. Now, with where I'm at, the location, and summer's getting warmer, yeah, I don't like the summer too much. Not too much. No siree, Babaroony. So I thought I had a visitor this morning, but I reckon not. It's a little quiet in here, isn't it? Is it not? I think the only thing you can hear is my damn computer going. Yeah, that's it. Just the sound of my little laptop there. Yep. Yes, sirree, a babaroony. Oh, yeah. Coffee. Coffee, coffee, coffee. So, working on an idea for an Elsinore Brothers and Sisters show. I think I'll just call it that, Elsinore Brothers and Sisters. It seems appropriate. Elsinore Brothers and Sisters. I really need to get out of the house and go to the t-shirt place. And now I realize why I haven't been able to get out of the house lately. This damn infection has gotten me just dragging my ass. And then all this prescription crap has got me double dragging my ass. So hopefully in the next couple of days I'll start to get my act back together again. How do I block you in real life? Because I really want to. There are some people I do want to block in real life. But, you know, they can just talk to the hand. That's it. Just talk to the hand. Talk to the hand, man. Well, I don't know how much of the silence I can take. The air is on eco. goes. I like it when it's just kind of on fan and then the air kicks in once in a while. And then it's not so quiet. Right? See, now we got a little ambient noise there. And it's not so darn quiet. There we go. I need to send a well, maybe I can do it now. 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe it's early enough. Let's see, not that phone. Let's use the computer. Let's use the PC to send a message. We're going to keep both files. Take that. Make me decide. I don't know, maybe I just want to keep both of them. They're a little different. Who knows which is the right one? Every once in a while I make a wrong video and then don't delete it after I make the right video. Yeah, bye-bye credit card debt. Stop using credit cards. Just because they want you to use them doesn't mean you have to use them. Pay for shit with cash. If you can't pay for it with cash, you probably don't need it. I mean, come on. Jeez Louise. Let's see, where was I going? I was going to go to Messenger. Hey, there you go. There you are. Boing. Wow, he actually got right back to me before I even finished the question. I guess I better get those codes. Arg. This is Jim, one of my oldest friends. He's the older brother to one of my oldest friends from junior high, and Jim has a auto repair shop in Indiana. P-O-60A. Number 2 is System. U O 4 1 2 8 6. Well, there. That ought to get me started, dearie. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, dearie. Don't you know? Hey, dearie. How you doing there? What's the year? Oh, making model. Oh, right. Let's see. Ford C-Max 2013. Ah, 2013. Totally. So anyway, people, how are you? Just when I get to the shop, I'll let you know what I come up with. Excellent. Excellent. Sir. There you go. All right. I am really looking forward to seeing Jim at the reunion. I haven't seen Jim since 2013, since my car was made. So there we go. At my best friend's, his brother's wedding. Well, best friend when we were young. I mean, you can say best friend, right, only so long, and then there comes a time when you're saying best friend and they're saying best friend about somebody else because there's just too much time and distance, right? Yeah. I mean, it's going to be neat to get together, but it won't be the same. It'll be totally different. It's a lot of years. A lot of water's gone under that bridge. Under them there bridges. Bridgesarios. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I was looking at my settings list on YouTube, and I thought I had the ability to make my playlists private to subscribers only, but I'm not quite sure if you have to do it when you create the playlist, or can you change it after you've created the playlist? I don't know. I got playlists here, and I got visibility, and it says public. Alright, let's go to mornings, season 1. Options. Analytics, videos, details. It's not letting me do that kind of stuff yet. Alright, let's go back. And we'll go back to that playlist. And let's click on the playlist. And it gives us the same menu. Settings. Let's see. No moderators, no users, no defaults. Right. Permissions, defaults, channel, general channel, advanced settings. It's not for kids. Ever. Oh, I don't want to monetize. Go away. I'm not here for the money. That's not my bag, baby. I'm just here to have fun. If I was here to make money, this channel would look like something completely different. It would look like a money-making channel. If I wanted to make money, I could make a lot of money. But it's not my thing, you know. I'm here to just share my life and hopefully others to share their lives with me. That's it. No more, no less. When I get a comment from somebody who really, really is excited about like X-1, right? Oh my God, I love that show. It's my favorite radio show. Now that is payment in full right there. Boom. There's somebody out there who is possibly going to watch these episodes religiously. Right? What happened to episode 10? Oh my God, you finally uploaded episode 10. Yay. Right? Yeah. So that's that right there. That does it for me. That's the cream in my coffee right there, buddy. Those comments about, like, my father went to that Grateful Dead show and then a year later I was born. Right? That's great. That's good stuff right there. Then we have a connection, right? We actually have a connection. We're building a community here. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, looks like my computer finished with its uploading, loading, and that kind of stuff. I had been moving some stuff around and uploading stuff to YouTube and saving some stuff that was processing. Right? So it's pretty cool now that it's over. It's all over. It's all over. It's over. Like, yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Alright, so now I can get rid of some of these graphics that I don't need anymore. Like Honeymoon in Hell. You're done. Hostess. I know I did Hostess. Ooh. And Inside Story. Compare both files. Let's keep both of them. Why? Because they're different. Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. Let's see. Honeymoon in Hell. The moon is green. Saucer of loneliness. The girls from Earth. Open warfare. Wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see, the moon is green. There's the girls from Earth. Oh, the moon is green. And it should be right here. Where's the girls from Earth? Where are you, girls from Earth? There they are. I already got them. The moon is green, the girls from Earth, saucer of loneliness, that's it. Yeah, calm down, stomach. It's just pills. It's just... the saucer of loneliness. There it is. Open warfare. So what I'm doing... Ooh. There you go. Okay. So, my computer was clouding, and it was slowing me down. It hacked me.
I'm riding the tube. Alright, so there's that there. That's what happens when you're trying to do too many things on the computer. Computers, it slows down the service.
So there we go. Let me see if I can, oh yeah, let me get to live here.
Alright, I'm live.
I swear I'm live. So now I can do what I was doing before, only it's not going to screw up my computer caretaker. There we go. So once again, I am gathering up files to move into where I've already used them. Venus is a man's world. The Trap. The Trap. Field Study. Field Study. Real Gone. Yeah. The Seventh Victim.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe I moved that one already. There it is. The Seventh Victim. And each file has 2 graphics. Find each one. The Lights on Precipice Peak. That one is right here. Where are you? I knew you were right here. There you are. The Lights on Precipice Peak. These are episodes of X-1 Protection. And these are title graphics that I have used to create these videos at the post. And I am done with all of these, so I'm just moving them over. Martian Sam. Something for Nothing. And where are we? Here's Something for Nothing. Ooh. I've used a lot of these graphics up. The Discovery of Mornial Mathaway. And I believe we just look under Mornial Mathaway for that one. And there he is. We're just about done. And that's it. Let's move these guys over here. And that should shrink this down to a pretty manageable size. Oh yeah. Great. Totally. We've already used Chain of Command. And Dr. Grimshaw's A Sanatorium. I think Man's Best Friend. Yes. The Reluctant Heroes, we did that one. Volpla. I don't think I've done Volpla yet. Let's see, we need to leave the early model. That's it. We're down to just a handful now. Great. great. It's great. It's great. If you was a Mocklin. We did that one already. Compare both files. Continue. A couple of untitled ones there. Okay, it looks like everything here has a reason to be here. Excellent. Let's move you over. Clear up some more room. There we go. Hey, good morning, Joey. I just noticed your comment. I hope it hasn't been there too long. How are you doing, brother? I was just thinking about you last night. Okay, you know what? I haven't heard from Joey in a while. I hope everything's all right. Looking forward to seeing you when you come out. Yeah, if I can't come up with the bread to ship this package to you, you can just take it home with you when you come out. Man, work has been really, really slow here. My wife's like, maybe we should find some more houses or find some more kind of work or something. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's what are you going to do, right? It's either going to pick up or it ain't. I said, why don't we just look around to see if there's some houses out here that are still happening that need cleaners, you know? Because I'm never going to get into the traditional work again. I'll just be too busy, like Joey here. I don't want to be that busy anymore. I can't do that. I said, you know what? Why don't we just do my folly, and let's just sit here and make a bunch of stuff, and I'll sit down in my van down the street and sell it to the tourists on the weekend. Right? I could do that. Yeah. Why not? I could totally do that. I could bag up a shitload of 8 tracks to take down. I could take a box of 45s, right? A box of records. A little of this, a little of that. Yeah. But most importantly, it would be handmade denim bags, I think would be the big seller, right? I think it would just be awesome. It would be totally awesome. Now you think with all the time that I spend doing this YouTube thing that I'd be making some kind of bread off of it, but like I just said, it's not my bag. I mean, I'm doing this to make fun, not to make money. If I did this to make money, I wouldn't be making fun, and I wouldn't want to do it. What's up, Bessie? You want to go outside? You want to go outside? She can never decide. Let me see if she wants to go outside. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Come on, baby. You want to go out? You gonna go pee-pee? So, yeah, went to the dentist, had a tooth pulled, got a bunch of medication. Yeah, man, they're all gonna fall out before I get approved for dentures. It's crazy, fucking crazy, man. Yeah, what are you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna do? You're getting old. You're getting old. Hi, dog. So I told my daughter, I said, you know the second thing that I tell myself every morning when I get up out of bed? She says, no. I said, shake your booty. Shake your booty. Shake your booty. So that's the second thing I tell myself. I said, you want to know the first thing I tell myself every morning? I'm getting too old for this shit. And then I get up and I shake my booty. What else are you going to do? So get up and shake your booties. Unless, of course, you're just getting ready to go to bed. Well, then unshake your booty. Played a little Minecraft yesterday morning. My wife and daughter had like 30 or 40 minutes left here, getting ready for university and taking off for the day. So I just grabbed her system and plugged it in, and actually went beyond 8 o'clock. I think I went to like almost noon playing Minecraft. I had quite a ball. I didn't do much but build roads and bridges and take a run around part of my world there and look for chests full of dirt, right? I actually found dirt. I found dirt in my flower shop over in my eastern desert village, which was pretty cool. And then I built my bridge and built a path and then a bridge over to another village. And now I'm just headed north. I'm just building a road north, kind of slow and steady. I'll build a road, and then I'll get to a spot, and I look off, and it'll be like, oh, look, there's a village. And I believe that's what happened just before I left the game. Was I built my road, and then climbed to the top of a hill and looked east and saw another village, and then it was like, okay, well, I gotta figure this out. And then I had some things come up, and then I had to, my wife came home, and I was like, all right, I'm done. She brought me home lunch. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Big old fat cheeseburger. You know what? I've been off my game lately, and the one thing that I know that I need is protein. So at least once a day, I'll try to, during the middle of the day preferably, I'll try to eat a big protein meal, something with a lot of And then for dinner, I can wake up and have, some ramen or soup or a little sandwich or something. Last night I had a PB&J for dinner. And then a couple of Twinkies. Yeah, there you go. But, yeah, I try to get a big protein meal in during the middle of the day, during the day when I'm up and active and can actually digest it. Of course, I ate it and went and laid down. Dope! But I woke up hungry. Just starving. Right? What's up with that? What's up with that? So yeah, I had to... I keep tabling the idea, geez, don't get up. Just stay in bed. Just stay in bed, please. You don't want to get up and do anything. But now I have to get up and take pills. I got to take pills every 8 hours, so I got my alarm set for 3 times a day. Getting up taking pills, or I'll forget. So now when I set the alarm, I don't forget. I actually start taking my pills earlier and earlier. So I took my pills this morning just before 5. And my alarm's going to go off at 6 and say, take your pills. So I'm good as long as I take the pills before or when the alarm goes off. But it's got to be right then, or I'll just space it out. And then I got to eat something with the stupid things. All right, let's see what. Oh, that's right. I was going to smoke some herbal here because I need some herbal essence, right? Oy. And you know what? What a bummer is about pain is when you get rid of one pain that's just making you crazy, and that pain's gone, all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's right. I had these other 12 pains waiting in line. Who's next? Let me go check the dog situation. Sam's bed together here so he can come lay down and hang out with me. He's a professional buddy, so I have to make sure that he's got his buddy spot here. So See, he likes a good armrest. So I've got to wad the blanket up there so he can come and sit down and rest his arm up. He's either got to rest his arm on something or he's going to rest his arm on you. I mean, he'll come up and lay down next to you and then sit there and prop himself up on you. Come on, bud. There you go. There you go. Come on up. Here's your spot. There's your armrest right here. Come on. Good. I'll cover you up. Come on. Good. Come on. Don't play hard to get now. What are you, camera shy? Oh, you're such a good-looking boy. You're such a good-looking boy. Come on, Sam. Come on. Come on. Come on. Up. Come on. There you go. It's all ready for you. There's your armrest. There it is. All right, you want to get covered up now? There you go. Oh. There you go. All right, buddy. There you go. Hi, good morning. You gonna hang out with me now? Thank you. You're such a swell guy. He's a swell guy. Does that mean he's swollen? Shut up. That's not what it means. All right, where was... Oh, that's right. I was gonna get herbal essence here. You know what you don't want to use? Or you don't want to do before you use one of these things, one of these metal tubes to smoke? You don't want to put on lip balm. If you put on lip balm, you better hold on to this thing tight, right? Because if you try to do that, you're going to suck that thing down your throat. That thing gets all greased up with lip balm, man, and it's getting sucked down. How'd he die? He choked on one of those smoky thingies. Doctor, we need you for surgery. We got to remove one of those smoky tubes from the guy's throat. Yeah, these are the things that I think of. Gosh. Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, I'm just going to spend the morning doing this, because this is really all I can manage this morning. Let's see, I did start uploading September. I did start uploading September. I've got 4 X-1s, and I'm just going to upload the first 1957 episode 83. So we've gone from 55 through 55 and through 56, and we're just going to start 1957. That's pretty awesome. It's going to fill up most of 57, and then it's just going to have a few residual episodes that pop up here and there, right? I think 58 is going to get a couple of episodes, and then it pops up again in like 72 or something for an episode. And then it just fizzled out. It just fizzled out in 1958. But the good part is that I will have Dimension X, the precursor episode series to X-1, and we'll start with that one, and we'll start loading that puppy up in the same time slot. I am going to continue with the old time radio. I may not upload as many educational films or concern myself with uploading a lot of other borrowed content. I want to get back into making original content, which is kind of how I started the channel, so I'd like to move back to that. And it'll probably go in phases. It'll go, I'll work on a lot of original content and make music and videos and documentaries and that kind of stuff, and little bleeps and blurbs, and then probably toward the summer I will have a bunch of borrowed content ready to upload with my original content, so that summertime we'll do the same thing. We'll go into some summertime programming where I don't concern myself too much with making stuff. And with the reunion coming up, I'm going to have to switch gears anyway and start working more on that, which means I want to start a show that's devoted to just the reunion. Once a week, half an hour. I can get on, I can give updates, I can show photographs, I can promote the shirts. I can have somebody come on through a video chat and talk about their end of what's going on, right? Get the musicians and the entertainers who are going to be on stage, and get them to show up for a couple of minutes and say hi, how you doing, can't wait. Maybe even to show up and do some live music on the video chat, and that would be neat, and get people pumped up about it, right? So I'm going to do a one show, and it'll probably go a week or two, maybe 3, and then I'll do another one, and then the distance between the shows will get shorter and shorter, so that once a week I'll be doing a show just about the reunion, and I'll just call it Elsinore Brothers and Sisters. That's it. And it'll be all about the reunion. Mainly so that we can get the word out, get people on board. People can comment, ask questions. I'll do a call-in thing where people can call in and ask what's going on. You can do a video chat and join and ask what's going on. You know, we'll try to make it as interactive as possible with my limited stuff going on here, right? So there. And we can do a telephone call where I can just put you on this thing here, put you right here next to my microphone so that you can be heard, and that's it. Your video conference. And that should work. Right? It should, shouldn't it? I don't see why not. So that's something that's going to be in the mix. The Nighttime Nonsense and Nostalgia show has kind of been floundering because my schedule has been kind of weird, right? I'm going to continue the show, but it may wind up becoming a once a week thing. We may move it down to once a week so that I can have other days of the week, other nights of the week to do other shows. I got to check a dog situation again. Be right back. Yeah. All right. So. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer, too, because I make these really elaborate openings and closings for the nighttime show where I edit in a bunch of commercials and stuff, and it's only good for that show because it's got the promo for the week in it. So every week I have to make a new video, a new opening and a new closing for every day of the week, right? So that's 10 videos I have to make every week after I make my promo video, and then I take all of those 10 videos one at a time. I drop out the promo video, drop in the new promo video, drop in a new card for that particular day so we see what's happening on that day. And then I'll try to switch some commercials, try to drop in a new commercial, pull out an old one, and kind of mix up the commercials. So that takes about 5 or 10 minutes to finagle that in the editing, and then it takes about 20 minutes to process and save, right? So there's about a half an hour invested into each opening and each closing individually. So that's That's 5 hours right there, just dealing with openings and closings. And then there's, you know, probably a 30 to 40 minutes of creating the promo for the week. Another 30 or 40 minutes, maybe an hour, creating all of the cards for the promo video, and the other cards that I put on Facebook and on the community page in YouTube. So it just doing the openings and closings for nighttime and the promos and stuff uses up about 6 or 7 hours, uses up a whole day's worth of computer time, because I can only do it on one computer. Everything's easier to deal with on this computer here. So yeah, it can become really, it's a real bummer when I get to a day where I spent an hour and a half making the opening, the closing, and the graphics for all of this, and then I don't do the show, and it's like, oh man. The good part is that I don't have to change anything, really. I just old out, new promo in, old card out, new card in, save, ready for the next week, right? I don't have to do a whole lot of switching. If I don't use all of the openings and closings for the week, then I'm not going to switch out commercials next week because they weren't really used, right? So there you go. I'm going to warm up this coffee. Be right back. Gotta get a little hot plate. I love to use a saucer and a spoon, you know, because I'm just old-fashioned. So I always use a saucer and a spoon for my coffee, so I don't make a mess. I don't leave rings anywhere. I can spill and it's okay. I can overfill and then spill. But I want to get a hot plate. I want to get a plate where I can put it here and then set it on a hot plate to keep it warm. And then drink it, ooh, like it's warm enough, and I'll set it here for a few minutes, and then put it back on the hot plate to warm it up again. And then I won't have to get up as much, go to the microwave. Ah, jeez, I hate that thing. I never liked them when I was a kid. And I still don't like microwaves. I prefer to do everything on the stove. But at some point you make a decision, I'm going to do quick and easy. You know, quick and easy. Quick and easy. It's a story of humanity at this point. Just want to be entertained. Quick and easy. Yep. That's like fast food equals fast death, right? Shut up, stomach, I know. Believe me, I know. Stay away from fast food. Totally. Well, good morning, everyone. It's Thursday. It is the 29th of August. This year is just about, well, this month is just about toasted. We got about a third left. 4 months to go in this year. Boy, this one went by really quick. But then for me it went by quick because I've pretty much just spent all my time doing this. It started off just doing about an hour a morning and only worrying about my channel for an hour a day, so to speak. And that was about it. And now I get up at 4 in the morning to do this, and sometimes I don't go to bed until, well, most of the time I don't go to bed until midnight. I get a bit of a nap during the middle of the day. I started going live twice a day, so I'm juggling 2 shows, and I try to nap in between, create content. I've started creating you know, bizarre amounts of borrowed content, which is just bizarre. But that's been a fun ride. And my video count on the channel is like just about 600 now. And because I'm going to continue with the old time radio shows, it's just going to keep going up. I'm going to continue with the live shows, so it's going to, every day I'm going to add new videos, at least 2 or 3 videos of borrowed content, and then at least 1 or 2 videos of live stuff. Maybe I'm going to be getting into 2 or 3 videos of live stuff every day. If I bump this nighttime nonsense and nostalgia to 6 o'clock or to 5 o'clock on Fridays, then maybe I'll take a Wednesday and do an Elsinore Brothers and Sisters show. That'll be cool. And use the other days to just keep worrying about original content. You know, okay, like Monday, I'm going to work on a music video that I can upload for Tuesday. And then just do that, and then just worry about that. You know, spend a couple of days creating and uploading borrowed content, and then spend a couple of days creating original content from old family content, right? I mean, it's just, and I got to do that while juggling the rest of my life and failing health. So it's quite a failing health. It's quite an undertaking. That's a good one. I'll have to remember that one. Yeah. So, so anyway, if you're still there, Joey, I went to see ELO with my daughter. There we go. So I went to see ELO with my daughter, and she bought me a couple of shirts. There's one. It's got the dates and stuff on the back. Well, the cities. It's got the cities on the back. Yeah, I don't think they put the dates on anything because Jeff Lynne is so old that they might have to reschedule some shows. So on none of the shirts or posters or anything are there any dates. It's just cities. That's it. It's just the Northwestern or the Northern American tour, and it's just cities. So it's kind of funny. And she bought me those pins there, and then she also got a poster, and the poster is really, 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 really cute. So if you're still there, let me know. Yeah. Yeah. It was a great show. It was fun. My daughter likes old guys. She likes to watch old guy music. I swear, if we could see Paul Simon or Rush or the Rolling Stones, right, or any of those older groups, she would love it. She is so totally into old classic rock and roll. Right on, brother. Yeah. Just very cool. Very cool. Yeah, the fact that you see a lot of people out there. Most of the people at the show were gray. Right? And there were a handful of young people like my daughter, and next to nobody younger. A few in-betweens, right? But, yeah, that's my alarm just went off to tell me to take my pills. But it was neat because it was like any of these other kids that were there, anybody young, they were there with their parents or grandparents or somebody, right? I was there with my daughter. My daughter took me. She got the tickets. She got us excellent seats. She, she's the concert one, and she always chooses these concerts where the bands are like 20 years or older, right? So yeah, she's into older music. She's into music that was being made when she was a baby or not even around. That's the kind of music that she's into. Right on. Well, if you got to go to sleep, brother, go to sleep. Don't stay up on my account. I'm just gonna blah 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 blah. So before you go, there's this great story that I got to tell you about the KMET shirt that I wore. It says KMET 94.7, and it's a Southern California radio station that went defunct back in what you call it, 1983, right? And so let's see. I'll have to see if I can find this picture. So I wore this shirt. I thought, well, what shirt am I going to wear? I could not decide what shirt I was going to wear to this concert, right? And so I decided to wear this KME t-shirt. And as soon as I got out of the car, people would say, "Hey, KMET, right on. The Mighty Met, who ya?" And everybody would, I mean, I'm literally everybody. I mean, when I say everybody, I mean everybody that I passed had something to say or would point at my shirt and say, "Honey, this radio station," right? And they would mention it as I'm walking by. Before we got into, between the time we got into the gate and into the stadium, the arena, during that half an hour, I got no less than 30 comments outside, walking around looking for shirts, but they were inside. And we walked around, and I got no less than 30 comments on this stuff. And that was crazy. That was crazy bizarre, right? And so, let's see, I thought I had it there. At one point, in fact, I was going to bring a poster with me, a big, wide poster, you know, that would have been seen by the stage, right? And it says "Who ya to ya," I think is what it says, just like on my marquee here, right there. It says "Who ya to ya." Well, that was the KMET slogan thing, right? And let me see if I can then send myself a message with a message in a bottle, yeah. Ooh. Message in a bottle, yeah. Ooh. All right, let's see. I'm going to go to find this photograph. Here we go. Send this photograph to myself on this computer here. And there it is there. And I'm going to pop it up here and download it. And I'm going to save it there. And here it is. And there we are. Okay, so now I can show you. I'm walking around and I keep getting comments and comments. I'm sitting in the seat waiting for the show to start, and people are walking by going, "All right, KMET." It was crazy, right? And then I came across my KMET buddy, and I found this guy. And oh my gosh, right? I stood there looking at this dude, and I'm going, "Bro," and he's like having his drink and talking to his friends, and his friends are going, "Look, look," and so I just pulled out my phone and handed it to one of his friends and said, "You got to get a picture of me and this guy, because this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy." I mean, who would have thought that I would find somebody wearing almost the same identical shirt, right? That was crazy. That was crazy bizarre. Yeah. It doesn't get any realer than that right there. That was so surreal. I don't know. It was just great. It was just fantastic. I was trying to find my friend who was going to be there, and a girl that I went to a college photography class with, right? Because I was going to give her this 45 of Fire on High. It's a purple copy of Fire on High 45, and an 8-track, right? So I stuck this 8-track in my bag so that if I saw her, I could pull out the 45 and the 8-track, give it to her, and have my daughter take a picture of us, right? So we're getting shirts, and we're standing there at the booth, and the guy's putting our shirts in the bag. I reach into my bag and I pull this out, this 8-track out, and I turn around to about 300 people behind me, right? And I turn around and say, I got the last fucking 8-track, people. I got the last one, man. Right on, yeah. And people started murmuring to themselves, they had 8-tracks? What's an 8-track? My gosh, he's got an 8-track. Is that new? How'd they get the 8-tracks? People are probably still talking about the guy who bought the last 8-track and where do you get the 8-track tapes and how do they even still make 8-track tapes, right? So that was fun. My daughter's just like, oh God, my dad is such a weirdo. It was fucking fantastic. It was hilarious. All right, you can go to bed now. That was too much. Yeah, the Killers, going to see the Killers in Vegas the other week. That was great too. And then of course it never ends. She's trying to find something for September so she can get a concert in every month of this year. And I'm like, all right, go for it, girl. Just try to get something close, right? Maybe I'll look for a show down here at the casino or the Acrisure Arena, because those are two great places to see concerts. They're awesome places. They're comfortable. They're intimate, right? No matter how far away you are, you're right there at the show, man. It's awesome. I mean, Jeff Lynne was so big compared to how small he would have been had we seen him at the Forum, even in the same seats, right? But it's kind of like the Forum, only small, right? It's not like only 11,000 people max, and they didn't even have that. So, yeah, it was a great first show for the tour. It was the very first show of the tour. And of course, the last show of the tour is going to be back here in California at the Forum. And I'm like, oh man, there'd be a hell of a show. Do the first and then the last, right? Wow. So I don't know. There are still tickets available for the Forum, for ELO's Jeff Lynne on the last night. And I'm like, I don't know. Am I going to tell my daughter, you know what, why don't you get us some tickets? Why don't you do that? Honestly, I'd rather go see someone else now. It's nice to see the same people over and over again, but I've seen Harry Styles twice. I've seen 1975 twice. I'm going to see Fall Out Boy again for the second time. There's a lot of her bands that I've seen, and I've seen twice already. I wouldn't mind seeing Paramore again, but I'd rather see somebody else. Rather than see somebody that I've just seen, I'd rather see Firefall, right? That would be great. I'd rather see the Rolling Stones, you know. I've seen the Rolling Stones twice, but, you know, the last time I saw them was in '89, and the first time I saw them was in '78. So it would be great to see them now and to see them with my daughter, because the first times I saw them with my father took us in '78 after he got concert tickets right off the radio from KMET. And then in '89, I took him to the Coliseum for the Steel Wheels tour, the Steel Wheel Magnolia tour. Right? Yeah, it's good stuff, man. So I'd love to go to see I was hoping that we could go see the Stones together before my father passed away, the three of us. But it wasn't in the cards, man. It just wasn't in the cards. Like, my daughter wants to go see 2 shows before the a day-long festival in Vegas, and then she's got to be at school the next day. And I'm like, well, maybe you should just save yourself. You know, it would be neat to be able to do that, but you're in school now, and you should really focus on, you know, you've already got this festival to go to, and that's the day before class. So why don't you just, you know, we'll go out there the day before, we'll come home the day after, and I'll get you down to your class, you know, in time. But even if you take the day off from class on that Monday, you shouldn't go crazy, right? Save your money. There's going to be other shows. Don't worry about it so much, because, you know, you can't, even though she's young, she can't just spread herself out so thin, especially with school. You know, she's a university student. So, gosh golly. Gee whiz. Yeah. All right, well, let me do a bonger here. The bongski. What am I going to do today? I guess I'm going to upload some more content onto YouTube for next week, so that Friday I can make my promos and my cards and my openings and closings and stuff again. If I do a little bit here and there, baby steps, it gets done. It doesn't get done all at once, but it gets done. So, yeah, as long as something is, when I'm not using the computer for live, as long as there's something going on the computer and something is happening. Because sometimes it takes a little while to save these things out. Sometimes I put stuff on to save and to process and to upload, and then go to sleep. And then wake up in the morning, like this morning. I woke up and something had finished uploading to YouTube, and something had finished processing and saving, and something over here was still saving from one hard drive to another. And it was still clouding stuff, right? It's like, okay, you know, it's somebody's working. It's my computer. That's good. Hi, buddy. My dog, he looks at me like, why are you talking to me? I'm not even paying attention, dude. I'm trying to sleep and you keep talking. He doesn't really get it. He doesn't really get the fact that this is what I do. I sit here and I talk, blah, blah, blah. I know. You want to stay awake and be part of the conversation because you think I'm talking to you, but you don't have to. You can go to sleep if you want to, okay? I know, you got that look in your eyes like, dude, would you shut up? Hi, buddy. I know, huh? You're so cute, Sam. You are so cute. You're even cuter when you're sleepy. Are you getting a little wall-eyed? Are you getting a little wall-eyed, huh? You're kind of funny. Yeah. Geez, I wish I could go to sleep soon. Who set the hours for this show? Jeez. How do I get out of this chicken outfit? My goodness. I got dogs all around me wanting to do stuff. All right, you want to go by me, Bessie? Is that it? You want to go by me? You want to get back to your bed? Come on. Come on. Come on, Bessie. No? Ah, jeez. She ain't got it figured out. Well, if you knew you could go around that way, then why didn't you? I'm going to have to get more coffee. Joey, if you go to sleep, good evening and have a pleasant day at work tomorrow. I am going to grab some coffee here, so I'll be back in a minute. You need to go outside, Bessie?
Okay. Let's see if we can keep the coffee grounds out of my coffee here. Yeah, I didn't do good making coffee this morning. The filter went wonky, so of course coffee went everywhere, coffee grounds. So now I'm gonna be picking coffee out of my teeth here. You're not. Coffee isn't one of those things you're supposed to chew on, right? Kind of. Ooh, actually, yes, it is. When I lived in Mammoth back in the mid-90s, I went to this little coffee shop up there. It was in an A-frame, and outside the A-frame was a guy who created chainsaw log art, right? Bears and gnomes and stuff out of logs. So you'd create these elaborate things, and he just had them all. You had to walk through this garden of dead lumber in order to get to. Are you paying attention to this? In order to get to the coffee, right? So you'd go in this little A-frame, and it was just a little tiny A-frame, probably a house in the back, a little coffee shop up front. And my friend's friend Julia worked there. Heather's friend Julia. Heather and Julia were two girls that shared a house with my friend Andrew. Finding rooms in Mammoth is very, very difficult. The population goes up, the amount of places to live stays the same. So there's a lot of houses just filled with people. When I first moved up there, I lived on a floor for months until I was able to actually get a room. Get a room, jeez. But this coffee shop up there, I can't remember what it was called. Oh, the Looney Bean. That's what it was, the Looney Bean. So I'd go to the Looney Bean to get coffee, and I would get a bag of chocolate-covered espresso beans. Oh my goodness, were those things addictive. Talk about crack. Talk about crack that'll destroy your teeth. Oh man, that stuff was so good. So I would snack on these espresso beans, chocolate-covered espresso beans, and you throw them into their mouth, and the espresso beans are roasted until they're crispy, crunchy, dry, and they just crunch in your mouth, right? Like corn nuts, only easier. And oh, it's just a wonderful thing. So I'd get a cup of coffee for the morning, and then I'd get chocolate-covered espresso beans for the rest of the day, and like after lunch I'd have a little handful of beans and crunch them puppies down and get all jolted. Oh yeah, a lot of stuff. Good stuff. Good fun. Yeah, that's good stuff right there, baby. Hi Sam, do you want to get covered up? Do you want to go to bed? Is that what you want? Do you want to go to bed? You want to get covered up again? Huh? There you go, buddy. There you go, buddy. That's my boy. That's my boy. I think he was staring at it because he's like, hey, fix this blanket, dipshit. Can't you see that I'm uncovered? Come on, how's a guy supposed to sleep if you won't even cover him up? Come on! Yeah, he's a sleeper. They're all sleepers. They love to do that sleeping thing. Oh, yeah. Let's see what's going on. Sunday. Well, if there's nothing going on Sunday, Monday, I might have a chance to get out and go to open mic this weekend. Sunday nights at 7:30. So yeah, there's that. Get out and see the guys. Wintertime will come back around, and I'll probably start picking up the guitar again. I've kind of set the guitar aside for a while because at some point I'm going to have to do dentures, and it's going to take me a while to relearn how to use my mouth. So I didn't want to be right in the middle of something and have to stop playing, because usually that's the way it works, right?
And if I start playing the guitar, there's a good chance that I'm going to wind up wanting to create something. And if I can't continue the creating,